And then I am like, can you pass me the load now? And then the GT is like, stop there. What did I tell you in the beginning? Didn't I tell you that you should think your load as your boyfriend and take you along? I said,
Okay.
yes, sir, you did. And it's like, this is how you treat your boyfriend. I'm like, no, sir, no.
Jai Hind and welcome everyone to the podcast series presented by SSB Wings. Today we have Radhika with us who has been recommended for the JAG entry and has secured AIR-1 and will soon be joining the OTA. Welcome
Thank
Radhika.
you. Thank you so much.
Yes. So how do you feel you got AIR-1 for the JAG entry?
I feel very overwhelmed, and I think I'm at the top of the world at this point. This was very unexpected to be in the rank one. So,
Okay, good. We are also very happy on your achievement. And so tell
thank
us,
you.
how was your parents' reaction when you told them that you have finally secured AIR-1?
So, since this was my second time getting recommended and my second attempt as well, so they already knew that I am in the way of preparing harder than last time. So once I told them right after my SSB that this time my SSB was better than the last time and I enjoyed it thoroughly throughout day from day one to day five. So they also had that expectation within themselves, like is bar to ho jayega, don't worry about it, just do your work, go to office, be chill. So I think they were very, very happy and proud.
Okay. And how was your friends' reaction when you told them that yes, you got AIR-1?
They were very happy. So basically, I come from Hidayatullah National University, and I'm the first woman to have ever been recommended to the JAG entry. So
Okay.
my friends, my course mates, and my teachers, everyone was super proud of me. So that's a different kind of joy to feel, as an alumni.
Yes. Yes, to be
Yes.
first to do anything is an achievement.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So you said that you were a working candidate. So how was your day? And how do you to manage yourself along with SSB and work life?
Okay, so being a part of a tier one law firm and I work in Bombay, so it's kind of hectic. So my schedule for my office hours are like from 9:30 to sometimes 8 p.m., 9 p.m. on a daily basis. So in the morning, I used to wake up 1 hour early than usual. I used to sit with my OIR and maybe like some basics that I wanted to just practice. And after I used to come back from office, I knew that I also have to be physically fit more than my regular regime of workout. So I made sure that I do calisthenics or my advanced like workout routines every day after office. And after dinner, I used to sit back with my studies again. So I used to like burn the midnight oil, thinking that okay, all of this will be worth it in the end of it. And I think like I should go on preparing hard as much as I can give, like maybe not leaving any stone unturned. Having said that, I also used to utilize my weekends to the fullest. Like since till from the morning till the Sunday night, I used to sit preparing, use different methods, tools, understanding how to better myself, how to better in every sentence what I use or write. So that's how I prepared with juggling with a job.
Okay. So it must be really hectic for you.
I mean, see, once you are rolling through the process, it might appear to be hectic, but once it's done, it feels like ठीक है और एक बार कर लेंगे. मतलब then you forget
Ah,
all the hard work, right? So I think that's a part of the process. So yeah.
okay. Okay, Radhika. So walk us through your journey of the entire SSB. You went for the process twice. So how was your
Yeah.
experience first time and the second time? Tell us about that.
Okay, so first time when I went, so my first time it was in 34th Board, Allahabad, Prayagraj,
Yes.
and like it is known to be one of the toughest boards, I guess. The thing is, I did not know about it, so I went with the feeling that okay, this is just another SSB, and so what I thought is like everything that I practiced before, ekdam sab perfect hoga, kuch galti nahi hoga, and you go with that kind of mindset. So I remember, I think two of my rounds went very poorly in my first SSB, and I was heartbroken. And they could, like, my peers could see it on my face that kya hua tumko. And someone, I think one of my friends that I met during SSB that time, someone told me, "Dekho, तुम्हारे पास 5 दिन है. Either you can be happy that you got out of this, monotonous life and you got to see what SSB looks like,
Yes.
और तुम बीटी ले सकते हो, तो अब तुम्हारे ऊपर है. So then I thought like what already happened has already happened, and that is not in my control or in my hands.
Yes.
So I remember I was so sure that I'm going to get conference out in the first one. कि जब conference हुआ था, I was so happy. I'm like अब तो घर जाने को मिलेगा यार, खत्म हो गया सब कुछ. And I was like okay. And they asked me a lot of questions, especially on one of my hobbies of rock climbing. They asked very
Okay.
technical SRTs on and on. And I answered that with like full confidence कि हाँ ऐसा ऐसा होता है. So getting recommended in the first time was very surprising and a happy moment. So the next time I went to SSB, I knew that whatever lacunas I faced the first time, I should first cover up and work on those. But also the ones that already went good should remain good or should be aced in the second attempt, because I knew the process, I knew the familiarity, I knew what kind of pressures that one could go through. So I was anticipating everything in the next SSB. So the second one, and having said that, I also knew that kuch na kuch to chhutega hi. You are just a human. Nothing is
Yes.
going to be in the ideal state of mind. Like this is like even the physics equations is not ideal in real life. So you're just a human being. Like you can just give your best. And I especially did not have anything to lose because I was already doing a good job. I enjoy litigation. So it's just one step ahead, the dream that I saw myself. So I
Okay.
think that is the kind of mindset I went with, and I was happy throughout the 5 days in the next SSB.
Yes. It is great to hear that you were happy, you enjoyed the process
Yeah,
without fearing of what the result could be. That is the
yeah.
achievement for you.
Thank you. Yes.
So, Radhika, you have been to the SSB process twice. So, what according to you is the toughest part? What challenges did you face there? Anything that you would like to mention here?
Yes. So I think first, the toughest part would be to keep up with your temperament throughout the process, because it will be high and low, and everything is in your mind. Once you overcome what you feel, and just do it, because you have to do it either way.
Yes.
So just remember what you learned, what you practice, believe in yourself, and just do it. Like you have to keep on motivating yourself, because there will be no earpod to play army motivation songs in your head, right? So that is number one. And I think number two, which is not really a problem, but while I was going through it was an issue, is one in my first SSB, it was like in the peak of the winter of Allahabad. So, it was a bone chilling cold winter season at
Yes.
6 a.m. So, sitting through the lecturate process and, like going through the entire thing was little tough. Second time it was Bhopal and in the peak of summer. So, like again, the heat was little unbearable. But again, having said that, ki OTA is going to be tougher than that, and you are built tougher than that. Like, this
Yes.
is this is something that everyone goes through. It's not the first thing or inhuman thing you're doing. So just go through it. So that's
You and
it.
I were the first one.
Yeah.
So, were there any funny experiences of yours which happened in the two SSBs which you have been to?
Oh, funny SSB is how the GTO reacts sometimes is so funny. So since in my SSB I had a very light mood, so ऐसे GTO भी ऐसे थोड़ा सा they were also pulling your leg throughout the process. I remember in my commando task, I went to the position where you're supposed to go, but I forgot my load. Okay, and then someone like one of my subordinates like indicated that my load is across the bound, and then I'm like, can you pass me the load now? And then the GT is like, stop there. What did I tell you in the beginning? Didn't I tell you that you should think your load as your boyfriend and take you along? I said,
Okay.
yes, sir, you did. And it's like, this is how you treat your boyfriend. I'm like, no, sir, no. And then he also started laughing. I also started laughing. And he's like, okay, cool, you go back. So I could smoothly do the task in like few minutes. So then he did not ask me to do anything else. Just, I think, a funny moment we shared. So similarly, in another, I think PGT or final group task, I believe, there was a position where we could not understand or solve one of the obstacles, and the last obstacle we had was blue in color, so we could step on that. So then in the end, I figured out, like I was the first one to point out, like, hey, we can put we can step on that block because that is blue, right? And then he saw that we already kind of found the last piece of the puzzle, and then it's like, now that you guys are so late, this has become red, now go. And I'm like, what? And I started laughing, and even he started laughing, looking at me. So I think taking that jolly mood ahead
Is
was
it
something
like
funny. Yeah, yes, yes.
okay? So, Radhika, you gave a mock interview to sir. How was your experience for that interview, and what feedbacks were given by sir to you, and how did you work on them?
Okay, firstly, he grilled me so much that I think till date I'm so scared of his face. Number two, like whenever I saw his videos, I'm like, this person took my video, and I was so scared. But then, of course, he encouraged me in the end. He pointed out the points that I could work on. For example, he grilled me on my one of my hobbies, that is rock climbing.
Okay.
He asked me very basic questions, and made me understand that if I'm not able to answer those questions, then I would make a fool out of myself, which I myself felt. So then I worked on those basic questions. He gave me a list, like for example, even in so I do high altitude trekking. So he said, give
Okay.
me the difference between hiking, rock climbing, and I think like alpine way of mountaineering and trekking. So I knew that, like what is high altitude, what is trekking, but I did not know the specifics कि कौन से height के ऊपर से आप trekking
Hmm.
बोलते हो, कौन से height के ऊपर से आप alpine climbing बोलते हो. Then it's like, make sure you know all of these basic things.
Yes.
And then I think one point, and of course I prepared on those technical points regarding my hobby or things in general. I remember he started the interview with, tell me something about yourself. I did not know how to prepare that answer. And I just said, I think two liners, that, okay, I am this and this, I come from here, I did my schooling. And then he said, that's it. And I'm like, oh shit, और क्या बोलना था? So like that. So, and then I understood कि और क्या क्या बोलना चाहिए उसके अंदर. And then I remember one feedback that he gave me was, once you are asked a hard question, it doesn't matter if you're not able to answer it properly, but
Yes.
think for a few seconds before you start answering, because once you start answering and then stumble on something, that looks worse than you taking a few minutes and then trying
Yes.
to explain your answer. So I think that is something I implemented in my SSB interview as well. Like when my interviewer started to grill me, I knew that this person is trying to see few things through the answers I speak about. So maybe I should identify and like express accordingly. And another thing that he pointed out was, even though it was through a video conferencing, he understood that I would fidget with my hand while I came across a different question. And that made me think that if he can see through a video screen of my laptop camera, then of course the interviewer can see me face to face. So I
Yes.
made sure that my hands do not move at all. So I think these are the takeaways I took from Rajiv sir.
Okay. Okay. It was good for you that you improved
Yeah,
soon.
yes, yes.
So, if you had to summarize your entire SSB journey in one line or one quote, what could it be?
I think it would be, do it, do it scared, do it anyway.
Okay. And why so?
Because again, there are certain things that you can anticipate, and it is going to be very anxious a process, because especially in my entry, they were all working lawyers around me. Everyone was good spoken, everyone was were capable enough to analyze things themselves. So I think the competition level was much more tough. And of course that is ought to make you anxious. And
Yes.
when you are in an interview process, and especially in my SSB interview, I was asked a lot of follow-up questions and a lot of tricky questions, like example, should women come into combat forces, do you believe in feminism, should like women, if women are prisoners of war, how should they be treated, or how should we change the strategy, etc. So even though I was scared to answer them, but I thought to myself that, okay, this is just a question, and maybe this is for you to answer or do it. So I think that would be it. And I think hard work is the main process than those 5 days, like how much of fuel you are willing to burn before you actually start your engine in the 5 day process. So I
Yes.
think there's a quote I heard recently is, how much you're willing to put in efforts when no one is looking at you.
Yes,
So
it is very
in the middle
important.
of the night, when no one knows that you're working hard, like no one actually knows like how much efforts you're putting in into each and everything. Like I remember while I was doing word association test, I would think about one word and how that one word could be defined in 5 different ways. So how much you're willing to put in when no one is looking. So I think that's
Yes.
it. It's just any other
Okay.
competitive exam.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you have mentioned several times about the midnight oil. What was the spark that ignited in yourself that you're putting in so much efforts every time?
So I come from a civilian background, and I always wanted to see myself as the first officer of the family. Number
Okay.
one. So I think I wanted to make my dad and my sister proud. So that, of course, had built up. And second, I am a big fan of Indian Army and Indian Armed Forces movies. So I'm, like watching those movies, listening to those songs in loops, always gave me that motivation. If you still look at my Instagram and YouTube algorithm, it is all about armed forces. OTA में क्या होता है, IMA में क्या होता है, and those background music would give me goosebumps. Even in my study table, I had this one mood board where I had photos that I picked up from Pinterest, I think, where I had pictures of a lot of armed forces, women photos, or maybe passing out parade or their uniform. And also, having said that, my favorite color is olive green, so nothing would be greater than wearing olive green every day. So all of that
Yes.
combined made me feel that I think I'm cut out for that profession, and once in a lifetime I should give my best foot forward to see what happens. Like, I want to actually see how green is the grass on the other side, because I've never been in there. So I think that's it.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
would you like to give a message for the SSB Wings community who are currently preparing and have their SSBs lined up?
Yes. So I remember while I was preparing, I heavily dependent on internet sources like AI, different apps, different YouTube videos to collect inspirations from anywhere I could find. So in that way, SSB Wings really helped me, especially in the GTO task, because through that app, I understood how to solve those puzzles or those
Structures.
obstacles.
Yes.
Yes, and also I saw a lot of previous years videos to SSB Wings. I remember I also used to solve SRTs and various other psychological
Yes.
questions that are available freely on the internet through the website. So I used all of those. So I think one message that I would want to give to people who are preparing themselves is just practice harder, because every competitive exam, apart from luck, is how much effort you can put in. So
Yes.
use
Very
all the
true.
resources you can get free of cost, maybe use some money here and there, but इन द एंड यू शुड नॉट थिंक कि अरे यार कुछ छूट गया, वो भी अगर प्रैक्टिस हो जाता तो अच्छा होता है। ऐसे छूटने वाली कोई चांस ही नहीं मिलेगा एक एक मौका
हाँ.
के बाद। So you should use and be happy with all the preparation. So with that, start early, start quick, because that is how you will know that where you lack, and you can solve it with the help of the mentors that are available.
Okay. Okay, Radhika, it was great talking with you. All the best from Team SSB Wings for all your future endeavors. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.